What is going on, YouTube? It may have been a few minutes since we have been on this rig. Let you enjoy our copious amounts of global warming that we have. If you don't have any yourself, you're missing out. So we'll let this thing get warmed up just a second. Don't have forever, but I figured I got to get this in because, my goodness, I haven't done a video in feels like dang near forever. But hope everybody's doing well. I've been checking in on a few people here and there when I can. Maybe Wes S will check in. Diorce was in the hospital, really in bad shape. And I didn't see an update from Wes on what his status was. So hopefully he's back among the living and doing a little bit better than he was the last update Wes had, because that sounded pretty grim. I was out of action for like 2 weeks. Something got a hold of me back at the beginning of December, and I didn't leave the house for 2 weeks. So I know kind of how that feels, but I was just able to take Tylenol and Motrin or whatever and keep the fever under control, and I did all right. It was mostly just real bad fever, and had to get my appetite in line because every time I got the fever up, I couldn't eat. So I tried to keep it in check, but you know how Motrin, Tylenol does to your stomach, so it was kind of a balancing act of trying to get enough to eat. But it took me 2 weeks. I don't know what it was. Definitely under the weather. So definitely wasn't any video watching or going on that time. But I hope y'all are doing well. Hope so. We got some people checking in here. M Long, what's going on? Walter Davis, how you doing? Hope everybody's had a good Christmas, had a good eventful Christmas, right? Hopefully it was a good time for everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed it, and whatnot. Have big gatherings with family and others, despite what the experts say, right? But yeah, it's end of the year. Are we I don't know, it's funny. I put it on the Twitter that I was done making predictions. Just all the bad stuff that's going on out there, assume it's coming to your neighborhood, prepare accordingly. It was back when they shared something about Australia lockdown, and it's gotten crazier all over the place. New York City, they got some kid out of a Burger King in New York City. Like, people have lost your minds, right? It's like all kinds of madness going on, and just assume it's going to get worse. Everybody we keep getting strung along, I think, or most people keep getting strung along thinking it's going to get better, and there's no evidence that the control freaks are going to let up. I don't see any evidence of that at all. So, as we said at the beginning of 2021, it's going to be worse than 2020. I don't see how 2022 gets any better. Not with the freak shows in charge, not with the power hungry control people and everything else. It's just incremental. It's a slowly boiling pot. It doesn't seem as bad. But when you get down to it, it's definitely not better. So that's kind of my take on the incoming New Year, such as it is. And our current state of affairs are pretty grim, I think. To be determined. But we'll enjoy the snow while we can here. Hey, what's up, Redneck Prepper? How's it going? It's a little chilly, yeah. Anytime the snow stays around for a couple days, it's a little chilly. It's in the 20s. It's not been terrible. Yeah, pretty much right before Christmas or Christmas Eve, it started snowing off and on, and it's been off and on snowing ever since. In the mountains, if I want to make sure I get this right, it's the most snow ever in December in the Lake Tahoe area. I think that's correct. The most snow in a month in a December ever, and it's the third most snow in a month ever recorded in Lake Tahoe area. Something of that effect. So record snowfall, to say the least. Down here we got a lot of rain early on in the storm, so it's not accumulated as much snow down here at the base of the mountains and whatnot, but it's been off and on, like it'll snow, melt, snow, melt, snow, melt, yeah, ever since Christmas Eve or whatever. It's been a good time. HRM, what's up? What in the world are you doing? Cutting fingers off? What kind of work you been working on? Goodness, don't you know power tools are bad for you? Holy cow. Yeah, you tried to bleed out first? I know it's not fun. It's funny, but you said it. It must be funny. Yeah. It's always an option, right? Well, that's no fun. That makes for a rough recovery. Hard to make snowballs with one hand, especially for missing fingers. But hopefully they got them snowed on tight and get a recovery going there. It's a rough deal. Working hard, I imagine. We'll finish off some lunch here. But so that's what's been going on in this neck of the woods. The weather's been keeping activity to a minimum, and the sickness or whatever it was kept me out of action there for a while. So really, I'm out of the loop on a lot of stuff, YouTube wise. News wise, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. It's just more of a, oh yeah, that seems legit. Kind of, I guess we expected that, etc. On and on. It's like nothing's getting any better. Everybody keeps contradicting themselves to keep everybody off guard a little bit, it seems like. But again, it goes back to what will people tolerate and what will people actually enforce. You know, be ungovernable, I guess is the word to say. Do not comply and see how the enforcers do it, is where we're at, you know. Yep, we're enjoying the weather here, HRM. Hey, M Long, the tornado got your barn roof, huh? I was wondering who all got affected by those tornadoes. That was a bad deal. Man, from Arkansas, Tennessee, out to Kentucky, that was some rough storm action going on out there. It was a couple weeks ago, I guess now. I saw some of them long. I guess it's better than other options, but replacing a barn roof is no fun. Didn't get your boat, I guess, which is important. But yeah, some really bad tornadoes there hit you guys. Milkman, welcome to the chat. The end of year chat, such as it is. No, Peavine is way north of here. This is Carson City. You can't see Peavine from here, especially with the clouds the way they are. Now, if I was to get up on the mountain where I've done videos in the past, now you might be able to see Peavine from up there. We do some overlook of Washoe Valley sometimes, and I don't know if you might be able to see Peavine from up there. I've never really paid attention. I mean, you can see past Mount Rose, so it's just right there, I guess. So maybe, yeah, that's a different angle. I mean, we're facing south right now, so you definitely can't see it on your screen. In Long, you had 5 tornadoes, and you had your 1949 Chris Craft. Is that a boat? Sounds like an antique. Hopefully not too worse for wear, considering, I guess. I don't know all the boating terminology, you know. I don't know. I think weather out here, I think, is supposed to continue cold and clear up a little bit through the next week. So we'll be probably losing some snow down here in the foothills, but that snow up in the mountains ain't going nowhere for a while. Maybe we'll get some skiing video in this year. It would have been nice to have some before Christmas, but I was out of action, like I said. So that wasn't happening. Kids off gallivanting, going skiing, leaving me behind, making me feel bad. If you know, you know. But we will endeavor to recover. But your boat made it out unscathed them long? It survived for the most part? Considering the roof got ripped off? Anybody got any off-the-wall predictions for next year? Anybody think it's actually going to get better? Let's do a poll. If we got 3 people. Does anybody think things are going to get better? The economy, the tyranny. Does anybody see this boat turning around this year? This coming year, I guess I should say. That way we can come back and revisit this, how wrong we all are. It'd be nice to be wrong. It'd be nice to think that there's things going to get better, but it's just there's too many control freaks in charge and too many idiots letting them get away with everything they want. It's just downright scary where we're at. The people continue to support the party line when they keep contradicting themselves and they keep trying to change the narrative, but not changing it. And everybody's still supposed to live in fear. Like, what have you people been doing all year? Hey, what's up, Mule Team? You want it all to burn, right? That's where it's kind of where we've been for a while, right, Mule? It's all got to start over at some point. People haven't had enough yet. People are we're all still way comfortable. Even, I mean, the inflation, especially on the food side, is pretty drastic. But everybody's still pretty comfortable, you know? Nobody's having to roll pennies to go get milk yet. I shouldn't say nobody. Most people. Some people are, for sure. There's more people are, you know, more distraught with their finances than before, but it's not the tens of millions it's going to take to really change things up. Seeing some meat prices that came out last week. People were, doing their due diligence on shopping. It was just, I was just blown away. Grocery store prices of like, your steaks, your pretty good, your really good cuts of meat, but still they're pushing $25 a pound, stuff like that in the grocery store. Not like you're going to the store, going to the restaurant and getting a $25 steak. Yeah, we probably can't even do that anymore. But the food prices are definitely kicking in. With this big storm we had here, a lot of grocery stores got a little thin on the supplies because trucks weren't coming over the pass and coming back and forth for deliveries and stuff. So that shook things up, or still is shaking things up around here. I think it was worse in Reno. Some of the grocery stores there were getting pretty bare shelves right there before Christmas. And then after Christmas, there was no resupply, basically. So it made it a lot worse. Things like that. People, cook. People do a lot more cooking and stuff for the Christmas. And then when there's no resupply for that, it makes the shelves look pretty thin. So we'll see how we recover around here once the roads open fully back up. Maybe this weekend. I know the feed store was out of a lot of feed because their main supplier's out of California. So that was an issue. On the animal feed side. So if it's not the disastrous effects of inflation, it's the weather imposing things on us, making things kind of rough. But I heard some stories like Christmas Day in some places out that way, like you guys were like 80 degrees and stuff. That's crazy. What you got there? Freezers are full. Right on, mule. Right, HRM, worse down the road with all the clown show that's out there trying to act like they're running the show. Yeah, I don't know what's funnier, is people want Biden to be in charge, or people actually think he is in charge. I'm not sure which the more funny part of that. Oh, the irony. But I hope everybody's got their plans in place and just roll with the punches as it is, as you've probably done for this year. I wouldn't say I'm in any worse a position than I was at the beginning of last year. It's one of those things, you always want to improve your position, but it's the financial difficulties and other things, But we're going on 2 years basically. But I said it way back in 2020. This is the SHTF of your lifetime. Just because it's not going the way that you envisioned so far doesn't mean it's not real. You have to adjust and make actions appropriately. Don't overextend yourself. The worst is potentially yet to come. So it's just that slow boil activity. It's not anything drastic for most of us. You know, as long as you don't live in a city, you can be fairly flexible. It's the city folks that are really up against the wall when you look at the next round of potential riots, depending on where you live, the next, you know, whether it's the next election, the next shooting, the next, I mean, you had all these different trials. So yeah, I think the winter kind of tamped a lot of that action down, it looks like. But it only takes one event in a lot of these places to blow your neighborhood up, essentially. And hopefully you all are appropriately prepared for staying, you know, on the level, and for those events to continue to spiral things, the chaos level to increase, I guess. Hey Saint, what's going on? Very frosty. Staying frosty, indeed. It's very nice. Yes, I think that's the words of wisdom to pass down for the end of 2021. 2022 is just going to get more and more bizarre. Less and less freedom. Only get freedom you're going to get is what you take. Seems to be the reminder that nobody's going to give you anything or allow you to exercise that such things unless you just do it. You know, it's getting to the point where you have to make them stop you. You know. So I hope everybody has got through 2021 unscathed. HRM, no worse for wear, I guess, as long as you got everything reattached appropriately. Not excluding that, but yeah, I mean, things happen, like M Long there, you know. It's the normal disasters you got to be ready for, and the big disaster looming on the horizon of just slowly encroaching over oppressive weight of government and financial burden that is just looming and slowly. It's just like a slow moving, I don't know, the slow moving monster just ready to crush and eat everything, you know. And it's just got to be ready for the everyday stuff, like the tornadoes, right? If you have them, or the snowstorm, if you have them, you know. But then the big thing is still the big thing. Hey, what's up, Saints and Sappers? That's crazy weather, Saints. You can have that mess. Talk to me in April. We'll get some 72 and sunny. Right, Mule? Improve every chance you get. I wouldn't say I've improved, but I've maintained a lot. We did buy some rice. We did improve with about 50 pounds of rice there right before Thanksgiving. That's probably we put some of that away, and we had some popcorn we put away in the summer. That was a kind of a replacement operation. There hasn't been a whole lot of like big improvements on our end. Just kind of maintaining, keeping the animals fed and going and stuff like that. Just going to Charlie Mike for 2022. Charlie, I don't know what that means. Trying to think of what's that abbreviation mean. I'll figure it out one of these days. But 2022 should be interesting, if nothing else. I think people are going to be surprised how much chaos rolls down the street. So that's my official prediction. So stay frosty. We're at the 25-minute mark. I'm going to wrap it up. I hope everybody enjoyed the view. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for hanging in there. Good to talk to everybody. As much as I've been negligent under the weather and otherwise of getting on here, but maybe we'll do something for the new year and try to keep a steady pace of something going, just to motivate and what's the word with it? I don't know. Sharing seems like a simple word, but seems like a commiserate with each other in our mutual misery. And the sun's going to come out behind that cloud and really ruin your view. So that will wrap it up with this, I guess. But stay warm if you need to stay warm. Cool off if you need to cool off. If it's 72, probably wearing shorts and t-shirt. Hey, Die Bullfrog, what's going on? So you guys get ready for the new year. Stay frosty. Wait, HRM? You told you guys first I cared what? You talking about your fingers, HRM? You told us first? I don't remember that. Hey, what's up, Howie? FFP. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your health and everything's doing well. Last time I checked in on you, one of your videos, you were still a little challenging with your health, but hope you're doing good, Howie. Good to see you up there from, it's probably the Great White North where you are. Although Alaska had some really warm temperatures last week. But I don't know if you got snow up there on the coast or not. So you guys be good. Get ready for the new year. Enjoy. Do all those things, right? Prep hard, live free.